The Center for Unhindered Living presents Plus Size Polyamory with Judy McMath, where our motto is, don't follow the crowd, follow your heart. Episode 7, Polyamory as an Ideology. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we'll be discussing the concept of polyamory as an ideology. All of us have an ideology, whether we know it or not. A way of looking at the world, a story we believe about the world and our place in it. It usually reflects our beliefs and values and helps us make sense of life. Some of us basically just adopt an ideology given to us by someone else, our family, school, or church. But many of us don't quite fit into someone else's ideology. We need to construct an ideology that accounts for our individualized experience in the world and taps into our own special uniqueness. But first, I'd like to ask you to consider becoming a patron of our show. If you found something of value in our work, you can pledge as little as $1 a month and get access to some neat patron benefits. Just click on the Become a Patron button at the top of the podcast page or go to patron.podbean.com/pspolyamory, and thanks for your support. When I was about 14 years old and in junior high, our school had a north wing and a south wing and a breezeway that connected them. The breezeway was sort of a hangout place with vending machines and music piped in from local radio stations. One day I was walking in the breezeway and they were playing John Denver singing Sunshine on My Shoulders. Now, I'm not going to try to sing it because I think that would probably be considered a breach of copyright, but I believe the Fair Use Act allows me to quote from it. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost all the time makes me high. That was how I felt, high on life, pregnant with possibilities. Most of the songs on the radio were about being in love or love affairs gone bad. I'd never had a love affair at 14, but this feeling I felt, I knew, the joy of being in nature. It seemed to transcend my mundane, everyday experience. He had another song called Love is Everywhere. I don't think I'll sing that one either, but here's a quote from it. Love is everywhere, I feel it. You are all that you can be, go on and be it. Life is perfect, I believe it. Come and play the game with me. Open yourself to the first celebration. Open your eyes to the joy and pain. Life is the fruit of your own creation. Every new birth is a soul regained. Those few lines spoke so strongly to my 14-year-old self. You're all you can be, go on and be it. Life is the fruit of your own creation, and whatever you create is perfect, no matter how it turns out. I always believed that, and I still do. Finally, the song Summer really struck at the heart of the matter for me. Do you care what's happening around you? Do your senses know the changes when they come? Can you feel yourself reflected in the seasons? Can you understand the need to carry on? Yes, my 14-year-old self could feel myself reflected in the seasons. I did care what was happening around me, even though at 14, nobody cared what I thought. Nobody was interested in my point of view. But finally, these last lines brought it all home for me. Rejoicing in the differences, there's no one just like me. For as different as we are, we're still the same. And oh, I love the life within me. I feel a part of everything I see. And oh, I love the life around me. A part of everything is here in me. A part of everything is here in me. Another way of saying we are all one. As different as we are, we're still the same. Love is everywhere. Embrace it. After that, I was hooked. I bought every John Denver album in existence, and that fact is one of the reasons I now live in Colorado today. It was a direct effect because of his influence. But this is not an episode about John Denver, lovely as that would be to talk about. It's about an ideology, the ideology of polyamory. Because you see, for me, polyamory is just an extension of my personal ideology. I look around me every day. I see all kinds of people, and as different as we are, we're still the same. We all want love, companionship, friendship, intimacy, and sex. And all those things are good. A part of everything is here in me. I already love all those people, every one of them. I carry them in my heart. If I were to meet you and during our first meeting told you I loved you, you might think that's a little over the top. How can you love me? You just met me. But I do. I love all people in their unique, uncomfortable messiness, with all their faults and foibles and all the joy they can bring. So why shouldn't I follow that inclination and engage in a relationship with you? Do I just have to worship you from afar? Because I already have a stable, satisfying relationship with one person, why does that mean I can't express my love for you or others? I have so much love to give. It's boundless. I couldn't possibly give it all to one person. It would smother them, literally. There's literally no good reason for monogamy. None. We want a relationship to be permanent because, well, frankly, you're addicted to the chemical reactions that take place when you're with your partner and you don't want that to end. But that causes you to smother them, be possessive, jealous, and demanding. You fear losing them because you think you're never going to find another relationship, at least not one like this. But the longer you're with that partner, the more you take them for granted, expect them to meet all your needs, put a lot of pressure on them, even though you may not realize it. Having more than one relationship is good for everyone. It gives you variety and keeps you from smothering your primary partner. You all have intimate connections, but you all have space as well. Polyamory falls right in line with my personal ideology that says love one another. We are all one already, so reach out and solidify those connections. As part of everything is here in me, your happiness and sadness is mine as well. When John Denver said, "Open yourself to the first celebration," what do you think he meant? What is the first celebration? Before there were holidays or rituals honoring gods and goddesses, when we were just little nomadic groups of Homo sapiens moving from place to place, gathering food and huddling around fires, what did we celebrate? Perhaps we celebrated a successful hunt, plentiful food, and good company. With our bellies full and our friends around us, life was good. It's only natural that we found an interest in fulfilling all our desires. The drive to experience pleasure was very strong, especially when there were few true pleasures to be found in those days. What did prehistoric man and woman have to look forward to in life? The warmth of a good fire, a full belly, and sexual satisfaction. Those were the elements of the first celebration. That same celebration is still open to us today. So as you can imagine, polyamory was quite common in those days. There were no rules about who could sleep with who. Those rules were made, frankly, millions of years later. If someone wanted to give you pleasure and you wanted it, you accepted it. And tomorrow, if a different person wanted to give you pleasure, you accepted it. And if you didn't want it, well, that was okay too. Now, knowing human nature, I can see some aggressive, jealous person eventually deciding that they didn't want to share their partner and demanding an exclusive relationship. But this was born out of selfishness, competition, and jealousy. Why then would we worship monogamy and hold it up as the ideal when it was born out of these destructive tendencies? If people have freed themselves from the tyranny of this relationship model, why shouldn't we congratulate them? Don't get me wrong, if you want to be monogamous, that's your business. But you don't have to, and there's nothing wrong with you if you don't. You're simply bypassing all of society's programming and freeing yourself to live naturally without artificially imposed morality. Because to be honest, today's morality standards are completely human-constructed, artificial system of behavior. The same system of morality that says you should only have one partner also says it's okay to pollute our planet. that we should all desire wealth, that working 60 hours a week is not only desirable but responsible, and that we don't have the right to do what we want with our own bodies, and many more destructive policies. My polyamory is not only an ideology of love for all, but one of freedom for all. It's an ideology of choice, of upsetting the status quo, of living naturally, of rejecting rigid, regimented, prescribed, forced lifestyles, of rejecting and defying labeling and categorization. Why do we have to be something? Why do we have to be anything? Isn't who I am enough? Yes, you are enough. No matter who you are or what you are good enough. Let's proudly wear the names or descriptive terms that they hurl at us. Slut, whore, gigolo, bitch, lazy, fat, heretic, socialist, communist, liberal. Embrace them all proudly. Visit the Center for Unhindered Living's blog at unhindered-living.com. Join our Facebook page at facebook.com/unhinderedliving. Have something to say? Leave a comment. Join the discussion. Thanks for listening, and have a great day. Currently, episodes of this podcast can be found on Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, and Radio Public, as well as our YouTube channel. Have a great day, and see you next time.